How's it going, Dokemon fans? Ordinarily on this channel, we do a single mock draft at the end of the season, but this year we wanted to do a sort of preliminary, way too early draft rankings, just to show you guys our thinking and keep you all updated as we get into scouting for the 2022 NHL entry draft. And of course, I'm going to be doing another series for top Russian prospects, and Ryan's going to go really deep into the OHL here in our backyard in Toronto. So we're both going to be making a lot of draft related content towards the end of the season, and this is sort of our way of getting everybody hyped.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting for prospects this year. I'm really loving the group of guys we have to scout. Um, Before we get jump into this, if you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for us. Really helps us out. And comment down below who you have as like a top pick, maybe a little bit of a sleeper, maybe a guy creep into the top 10. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna get this going. Who do you
Yeah, we
have?
definitely want to know who we missed or,
Yeah,
start an argument in the
absolutely.
comment section. We love that.
Absolutely.
Number one, I don't think that this should be a surprise to anybody. We both have the same guy, Shane Wright, I hope.
Yeah, we both have Shane Wright is the guy, right? He's the guy. Uh, he has this spot pretty much on lockdown, and I think would need to have a pretty horrendous season combined with an amazing one from someone else to like lose this number one spot. Um, yeah, projected as just a number one elite centerman with a great shot, pure hockey sense. Definitely the best player in this draft at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, doing the OHL, I'll be very excited to watch him play.
Mm.
Plays for the Kingston Frontenacs. You want to start us for number two? Who do you have at number two?
Absolutely. Matthew Savoie. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Savoie. He's had a really good start to this season. Everybody had him as a top five kind of pick, and from what I've seen, I've just loved him. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but I don't mind that. He's been so explosive. He's been scoring. The QMJHL, you expect them to be scoring at such a crazy pace, but to start this hot the way that he's done, I really like him for number two. I think he's shown more than anybody on the list that he is just way above other than Shane Wright.
Yeah, and I think this number two, three is going to be pretty much up for grabs for like I think any one of maybe six guys could get it by the end of the season. I could see, and yeah, Matthew Savoie definitely one of them. I have for number two from the Finnish Elite League right now, Brad Lambert. Brad Lambert, I love the skill he brings. He played 42 or 46 games at the Pro Finnish Hockey League level last season. Had 7 goals and 15 points, which is a pretty good pace for a guy in his draft minus 1 year. Um, we'll have to see how he continues his development. He's a very good skater, great edges. More of a playmaker than a sniper at this point, but he still has a very good shot. Um, Inconsistency might be the thing that keeps him from really securing that number two spot. If he can be really good consistently all year, I think no doubt he's going to be number two. Who's up for
Yeah,
three?
I couldn't agree more on that 2 to 6 spot really being up for grabs. That I feel like whichever team has that pick, they might just be picking for need or like, well, what fits their team, and there is no clear. That towards the end of the season, I think it might be clear that there is no clear like 2 to 6 kind of range after Shane Wright. But at number three. I'm gonna say with confidence, Danila Yurov. He is a Russian. He's a guy I've been scouting. He's a guy I've really liked off the start. I compare him to Stutzla. He's like the Russian Stutzla, and Stutzla, of course, is the German Marner. He likes to drive the play. He's got great skills and speed. He can shoot. He can pass. He's got everything end to end. And I think he'll fit on a bunch of teams, and yeah, I can't see him. I can't rank him any lower than that.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's definitely one of those guys that's gonna challenge for number two. I have his countryman here, and I'm gonna butcher this name. Ivan Miroshnichenko. Miroshnichenko?
Ivan Miroshnichenko.
Miroshnichenko. Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna butcher that. I've heard it been mispronounced all over the place. Um, very similar to Yurov. I think he has a little bit higher ceiling than Danila Yurov has. But again, very good two-way winger. Kind of both of them kind of buck this trend of Russian wingers being hyper skilled and not very good in their own end. Both of these guys are very good defensively. Kind of a breath of fresh air in that sense from the wingers in that country anyway.
Mhm.
Very good shot, can score from anywhere. Great at reading the play. Um, very good away from the puck. That's where I think he separates himself a little bit from Yurov. Um, very good at reading the play in both ends of the ice.
Yeah, spoiler alert. These, gonna be my top guys for my Russian series. So
Yeah,
you get my 2-1.
these are the guys who are fighting it out of Russia for sure.
Hmm.
I don't think there's anyone else close for that top spot right now.
I'll get to Miroshnichenko. Don't worry.
Okay.
Number 4. Oh,
Yeah, I'll switch it up here. I'll reveal mine first.
okay.
Uh, tired of going to second. I have I have Conor Geekie. I love Conor Geekie. I love the fact that he's 6'3", he's big, he skates incredibly well for his size. And he just feels like a top line center. You know what I mean? He feels, and a guy I'm going to compare him to, not in the sense of style, but maybe just in the same kind of role out of a this part of their draft is last year's Mason Mctavish, who scored tonight. He scored his first NHL goal tonight for Anaheim. Similar, but he doesn't have the kind of snarl that Mctavish has to his game, but
Mhm.
very good hands around the net. You know, that prototypical big centerman. I think Conor Geekie's that.
Yeah, the same note
Number
comparing him to McTavish. I like that. I have the same
Yeah,
note on him.
and if that name sounds familiar, is actually the younger brother of Morgan Geekie, centerman for the Seattle Kraken. Had an incredible goal.
Hmm.
Geek.
4 for me.
Yep, who you got?
I got Joakim Kemmel, in Finland.
Yeah,
Kemmel
Camel.
is the top goal and point scorer in the SM Liga. That's the adult top Finnish league. Arguably the fourth best league in the world. He's leading it in goals and points. And the way he scores is just ridiculous. It's not like Vetchkin where he's sitting at the top of the circle and waiting. He is scoring from every angle, every zone, with every type of way, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful to watch him like his sense to just be like, yes, I'm gonna get that puck in the net any way it needs to happen. And I think that I clearly don't have had Lambert picked at this point.
Yep.
So I am, officially calling Kemmel over Lambert. He's had a great season, and that's I'm going to put him at 4. I think he could be a number one scorer on any NHL team, whoever picks him. So
Yeah, I really liked what I've seen from him. He's a guy I've actually seen a little bit of. Play. The scouting games I'm watching. 9 goals in 12 games, just kind of scores from everywhere. I don't have him ranked quite as high. I have him down a little bit further than you because right now he is shooting at an incredibly high shooting percentage. It is going to drop down a little bit. So I'm trying not to overreact too much to a incredibly hot start. But I was really struggling to not put him around here too. You
mhm,
obviously you pulled the trigger on that, but I'm going to be watching him closely.
mhm.
Let us know who you got at 5, Alex.
Oh, we're going back to
Yep, we'll go back and forth.
okay. At 5, I have Ivan Miroshnichenko.
There he is.
There he is. I love Miroshnichenko. I think some people call him lazy, and I've been watching him a lot. His thing is that he doesn't keep his legs moving in the defensive zone. He reads the play really well, but if he keeps his legs moving, he'll have just that extra little step and make him look a little bit less lazy because he's not. He is always paying attention. And yeah, like you said, like that defensive prowess, both these two Russians, Yurov and Miroshnichenko, are both incredibly, defensively minded. And I appreciate that about Miroshnichenko because there's a bunch of comparisons to him as a young Kovalchuk and young Ovechkin and just being a cherry picking one dimensional scorer. And that ain't true. Miroshnichenko is the full package. And he's got speed, he's got skill, and he might have the most like high end skill in this draft if he can reach it. And it's tough to put him over Yurov or Kemmel though. So I have him at 5.
Very good. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Number 5 for me. I have Juraj Slafkovsky. Slovak. Big Slovak winger. Great shot. Really soft hands. Big, softer hands than you would expect for a winger of his size. I guess that's the kind of European play coming out of him. High-end playmaking ability, good net for presence, like I said. And Slovakia, man, they're looking good. They're looking good in this draft. There's another high prospect that's probably going to go top 10, in my opinion, coming up for both of us here, I think. Alrighty, I'll do 6. Back to 6, and I just mentioned him, or alluded to him. I have Simon Nemec. Nemec. Here, right,
I go with Nemec. I'm not sure though.
right shot defenseman, 6'1", 192 pounds. Could very well be the best defenseman in this draft. Poise, skates well, plays a little bit risky, a little bit on the edge, a little bit at times, but is smart enough to get himself out of it when he gets in trouble like that. And in his own zone, a very good stick around the net defensively. You think it's 6, Alex?
6, I have Brad Lambert playing in Finland. He has not had a great start to the season. I'm trying not to hold that against him because I watched him play last year. He's not playing as well this year, and people teenagers don't get like worse just like that. It is just like a little bit of a cold streak to start the season. The team isn't great, and he is being overshadowed by teammate Kemmel, and like the role that he's playing, as a center, as like a two-way guy, doesn't give him the scoring opportunities, but does showcase like the intangibles, like the two-way, and like the other parts of his game that I think really shine. And I just until he makes it click consistently, like you said about him, I can't have him in the top 5 because I don't know if he can be a number 1, kind of center. If he's going to be in, a middle 6 or second round, a second line center, then like he can't. Yeah, I can't risk a top 5 pick on him. So I have him at 6.
I think his pure skills are gonna speak for themselves in the draft. And I think I said consistency is a big thing with him. Once he figures that out, I think he's
could jump.
I think he's gonna lock himself at 2 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Matty Beniers did last season. What are we on? Is 7 for you?
7, I have Simon Nemec or Nemec. I'm not sure. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with him being the top D this year, undisputed. Two-way prowess. He's got an edge to him. It's hard to like compare forwards to D, and Nemec or Nemec can be a top 2 pairing. So like, where do you place him in there, and which team goes for need? And I think that he might go as high as like 3 or 4 if a team needs a defenseman.
Yeah,
but as
absolutely.
far yeah, so it's hard to rank him lower, but I'm just gonna put him there because I really like everybody before him.
Yeah, it is more of a ranking than a mock draft since we don't
Mhm,
know
mhm,
exactly who's picking where, um, or the GM's tendencies. So it's a little bit more of a loose ranking than a draft, but
mhm.
I agree with you 100%. For me, at number 7, I got your boy Danila Yurov for 7. Um, Same things you said about him. Incredible, plays a similar game to Miroshnichenko and has been kind of overshadowed by him a little bit, but is starting to come out of it with more and more looks at him. Played really well at the U18s, if I remember correctly. Could very well be the best Russian skater in this draft at the end of the day. Right back to me. Right back to me at
Me, me for 8.
me for 8.
Oh, you did. Okay, you were 7. Sorry.
Yeah. So number 8, finally is probably the biggest difference between mine and yours. I have Matthew Savoie here. Well-rounded guy. He's only 5'9", but he's a well-rounded center he has a playmaking mode, he has a sniping mode, he even has like a little bit of a power forward, a little bit of an agitating kind of mode. He can kind of do everything. Very do it all, Swiss Army knife kind of center. And in my opinion, this may lead him to slip a little bit in the draft. Because these players don't tend to go very, very high. It's GMs definitely they value pure skills a little bit over a more well-rounded guy. It doesn't mean that he's worse. A lot of those times, those well-rounded guys end up being a lot better. Just look at Jonathan Taves was I think 3rd or 4th in his draft year.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I again another guy. Any one of these, I think 2 to 8 maybe for me. Any one of them could go number 2. I'll have to see through the end of this year. Who's for you in number 8?
Number 8, I have Conor Geekie. I think he's having a great start to the season, and I like everything you like about him. And I like, I think the hockey blood, runs in the family. I really like seeing family members. I don't know, it just really drove me to Conor Geekie. Maybe it's the name.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no,
A lot of good names in this draft.
yeah. Maybe just not many Canadians this high either. I feel like and other than Shane Wright's number 1, but I feel like there's a lot of like talent from around the whole world in the first round, and it isn't going to be dominated by Canadians, which historically it has been, and I think that's why I see him slipping in there. Like teams might be more willing to take a Canadian sometimes too. I don't know, like having him higher. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's definitely a little bit of a bias toward
North American
high-end Canadian
bias.
talent. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And Americans too, more recently.
Hmm,
Fast
hmm,
national development programs. A lot of kids coming out of there. So I think we're both coming up to a bunch of kids.
hmm.
Who do you got next, Alex?
9, I have David Jiricek. I hope I'm saying that one right.
I think you're right.
He's a crazy offensive threat from the blue line, and he reminds me of Brant Clark kind of from last year. It's just like an offensive threat. When you have that much elite skill, like like you're in that like top 10 kind of range, and that's where that's where he sits. I can't see him dropping out of the top 10. He's just too good creating offense from the blue line and just all over it. But like he can't slip. That's he's gonna be my ninth.
That's so funny. Me and you have a very different opinion on this player,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get to him eventually. Um, I have him compared to a very different player from last year's draft. Anyway, continue on. Right now, I have 9. I have Logan Cooley at number 9, my first American off the board. Smart, two-way center that really drives his play. 5'10", 174. Seems to always be in the great position. He supports his teammates very well. I've noticed in some of the tape I've seen on him. Quick release on his shot, good playmaking skills as well. Um, Not quite a very average size for a centerman these days, and first guy for me to come out of the U.S. National Development Program. And for me, at number 10, this is where I put Joakim Kemmel. Like I said, when you have him at 4, 9 goals in 12 games. I'm trying not to overreact to his season so far, but I can't not say how good of a start he's had, and he's going to be going up a lot of people's lists. And if we do a mid-season mock draft, he might be up there at 2, 3, 4 for me. Obviously knows how to score, like I said, in a variety of ways. To do so in his shot arsenal. Has really good outside speed too. I've seen him catch a bunch of defenders pretty flat-footed. Not expecting to be as fast as he is, and I've been watching him very closely for going forward to see if he continues his pace. Let me hear you.
Me for 10, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. At 10, I have Logan Cooley. You had him at 9.
Yep.
I love that. Sorry, I think some people are super high on him. Like I've seen people put him in like the top 5. I haven't seen that part of him yet. I think that like because if a guy has like all like he's a bona fide like second line center that people might overlook that they don't have what it takes to be a number 1 center and overhype him a little bit. I think there might be just a little bit overhype on him, but you have him at 9, I have him at 10, so maybe we're both being like accurate on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this this area of the draft, especially so early, could be 8, could be 16. There's a lot of variance right now.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that could like the team that wants him will take him higher, but he could also, if the team is just like, he's not my guy, he could he's the guy who could fall a little bit into the teams, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
People be like, oh, how is he falling? And it's like, teams just didn't like, they wanted this guy instead because they saw that top end elite pure skill that, GMs look for that he might not have.
Absolutely. Who do you have at 11?
What? 11? I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. Rutger Mcgrawdy? Mcgrawdy?
Mcgrawdy, yeah.
Mcgrawdy. I think he's an amazing puck handler. He's strong. He's hard to get the puck off of him, and he creates a lot of offense that way. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna get the puck to the net. He just makes it happen. And he's got. I like him here at 11, and he's having a pretty good season so far in the U.S. development program. I think he's the lead scorer.
Yeah,
Second in scoring.
He's up there. He's got a good shot.
Yeah. He's a.
This is our first similarity since number 1. I also have Rutger Mcgrawdy here. People are calling him as of right now the best pure goal scorer in this draft, I guess, outside of Shane Wright. Incredible shot, knows how to score. Big body, knows how to use it. Definitely an interesting American U.S. TDP player. For number 12. Number 12 for me here, I have David Jiricek. Oops. All right.
Did you give away my pick?
No. David Jiricek. It's funny. You compared him to who? Brandt Clarke.
Kind of Brandt Clarke.
I compared him to kind of a more offensive version to his countryman from last year's draft, Stan Svozil. Who's obviously a very different player than Brandt Clarke was. Touted as one of the best defensive guys in this draft too. Obviously, Jiricek is a little bit bigger than Svozil is, and Brandt Clarke. He is at 6'3", 189 right now. Good skater, defends the ice very well. He has 7 points in 10 games, but until he's kind of put these kind of offensive numbers up, he wasn't really touted for his offensive ability. Up until this year. starting to put some points on the board in the Czech league. Anyway, right now for Plzeň,
Well, I'm not
in
gonna
the Czech
pretend.
league.
No.
So we'll keep an eye out on that. But if he could develop into a two-way, really good two-way defenseman with good offensive, good defensive numbers on both sides, definitely could threaten Nemec for the best defenseman out of this draft.
Mm. 'Cause neither of us have another D yet.
I have one more, two more.
Yet, yeah, I have one more.
Yeah,
Two
all right.
more. We both have two more. How much? Maybe. No spoilers.
No spoilers, but who do you have at 12?
A D. Ryan Chesley. Chesley? I'm gonna go with
Chesley, I think. I'm
Chesley.
gonna go with Chesley.
He's a solid two-way D, and I arguably the best defenseman out of North America. And he's got a good game at both ends, and this is this is where I like him. You know, he's had a he hasn't been this is like an offensively productive year so far, but defensively and on skating at ends of the ice, like he's really shown that he could be an amazing top four kind of D shutdown pairing kind of thing. Still has offense potential there, but that's not like the main part of his game is just like d- dominating the ice and shutting everything down like he's got.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I like his game. Yeah, he's pretty good. So 12
All right, 13.
for me.
Yes, sir.
Frank Nazar. I'm gonna go Nazar.
Yeah.
He's off to a hot start. He loves. I like the way that he loves to drive the middle of the ice, get right into the slot, and fucking score. Got like
Absolutely.
5 goals so far. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't think he was scoring as heavily last year, but like he's really picked up, and I think he's a guy that's really gonna turn some heads this year in the draft.
Yeah, another good forward out of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of forwards out of the U.S., my number 13, I got Isaac Howard for the U.S. National Development Team. Um, I consider him kind of Mcgrawdy light, if it's not as an insult, but just as
Mm-hmm.
he's a little bit smaller, doesn't play that kind of aggressively, more a little bit less aggressive on his and forechecking game than Mcgrawdy is. But a good release on his shot with a ton of power on it. Not as tough around the nets as he should be, I think, at times, but I think he's a little bit more of a playmaking type than that power forward type that you see coming out of this program recently. But yeah, another great forward out of there. To continue on, I got 14. So one of my last two defensemen in this draft, I got, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Elias Salomonsson. Sweden, top Swede in this class so far. Very good competitor, good abilities in his own end. Plays well for in his own end for his age as a defenseman. Long reach, good stick. Has some offensive upside right now with 15 points in 14 games last year and 8-11 this year in the Swedish SHL Junior U20 League. Could be a contender to move up this draft board with a really good season. You got a 14.
14, I have Isaac Howard, who you have at 13. I think he has you mentioned him being, kind of passive in front of the net. I think he's been kind of passive with his style of game. He has like a goal scoring touch, but he's been kind of like reluctant to use it. I don't know. Is like I feel like that there's a lot more that he could give us.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
That
say to
like
Mine too.
yeah, he could like fly, he could go up this, he could show that he's almost as good as goals like a goal scorer as Kemmel, Like I definitely think there's more there that he hasn't shown, and like I really want to watch him because like just being a playmaker isn't his game. It's about goal scoring and assists, and I think I'm really excited to watch him this year.
Yeah, that team is going to be really fun to watch. A lot of
Hmm.
guys in there. 15, Alex.
You got Seamus Casey. be honest. I'm not sure if I'm sold on him yet. It's kind of a weird kind of defenseman. He got good quick transitions, but I haven't watched him enough, so I'm not completely sold. But I gotta give him credit where credit's due. He is scoring, and he is forcing turnovers and scoring the puck. So I'm happy to watch him. Happy to put him at 15.
Very good. For 15 for me, I have a guy you've taken already. I have Frank Nazar here. Agree with everything you said on him. Another good forward for this team. Goal scoring, good finish, finds his way to the net. Good at getting into that good goal scoring area, and is decent in his own end as well. It's no slouch on defense. Solid defensive center for US, and yeah, guy that could sneak up a little higher than this for sure. Last one for me is another guy that you already drafted is defenseman Ryan Chesley. Right shot defenseman, like you said, top American defenseman in this class. Good skater, aggressive with a stick, and will hit people. He will smash some people if he needs to. I don't know if you mentioned that, but strong defenseman. Last but not least for you.
16, it was a tough one. I know you had a tough, 16 as well. And I was between three guys here, but I'm decided to go with Jack Hughes. And it might be a little bit higher than some people, but there's something that I really like about him. And he hasn't shown. There's something about his skating. He isn't the quickest. He isn't the best, but I think there's the way that he skates and uses edges. I think there's just a lot of potential for him to score more that he hasn't yet. And I feel like I want to give him that kind of chance to I'm gonna, they'll see, and I'm giving him the you're doing the right things. It hasn't clicked yet. So when it does click, it's like I'm recognizing that, and I'm gonna have him at 16 right now, which is tough because really really wanted to fight you on having a Swedish at the top of Elias Salamanson, because at 17 and 18 I have two different Swedes myself.
Ah,
But that'll have to be for the next time.
yeah, we'll try to extend this further and further as we go, as we get deeper into the season. We got more information.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely our way too early mock draft right here, our rankings anyway. Um, by the way, it's not that Jack Hughes. I've looked at that name a
No,
couple times. It's like I don't even think he's related to the Hughes
nope, they're not.
brothers. He's a completely different Hughes.
Nope,
And
different
if he
family.
makes it to the NHL, that's gonna be big confusing.
Well, yeah, it will be.
That's gonna throw some people off. But yeah, that's our list.
Especially if New Jersey drafts them.
Yeah, oh my god. How do you differentiate those two on jerseys? Because sometimes they go J and JA or
Middle name, initial.
oh, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, no, this is our last. This is our draft. Let us know what you guys think. Who, if we missed anybody, if either one of us are crazy, if Alex is crazy having or Brad Lambert so far down, if I have Miroshnichenko way too far up, you like Yurov better. Let us know all these things in the comment section down below. And like I said at the start, like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy. Really helps out the channel. We're bringing a lot of draft content to you this year and hockey content in general. It's going to be fun. Anything to say, Alex, before we go?
Yeah, I think you're crazy for having your Juraj Slafkovsky at 5. Come on.
Yeah, you don't even have him on your list.
Nope, I have him a little bit lower. I might actually do, my 17 to 32 if people are interested.
Yeah, let us know if you're interested in seeing more rankings from us.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's it for this video. Peace.